Hi, my name's Keeley. I am a cuddle therapist and boundaries and consent educator. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm making a video and I'm gonna content warning it. It's reactionary, so my thoughts are not organized or polished, and anyone who continues to watch this video is signing up to be okay with that. So if this is not the video for you, that's totally okay, and watch something else. But this is reactionary, and I'm acknowledging it, and I'm saying that this is a designated place, that I'm utilizing that. Cool. I just found out that a client of mine beautifully and wonderfully and generously suggests cuddle therapy to many people in this client's life. There's so much I'm grateful for in that. One, there's still, any mental health service, there's a stigma around. So this person has broken through that barrier. There's certainly still a stigma or a taboo or a social, I don't know, faux pas around cuddle therapy and seeking out cuddle therapy. This person's broken through that to the point they've broken through all of these things and love and accept themselves and the service, then this kind of work, this kind of service, so much so that they proselytize it. They recommend it actively to anyone in their life who they see could potentially benefit from it. All of that is beautiful, touching. And I just heard about a really sad situation. Someone who they recommended this service to, who is in a bad place. They're in a tough spot in their life, which is one of the reasons why this service by cuddle therapy could be so vital for them in terms of being helpful, being a support. So they're already in a vulnerable spot, and they were taking a huge chance, a huge risk, emotionally, vulnerably, to try to find a professional to help them with this. In that moment, for whatever reason, probably stress, probably anxiety. This is a really hard thing to seek for many people who aren't terribly familiar with what it is. It's not in the mainstream. They were trying to overcome all those things, is how I imagine. They went to the first website that popped up for them. It was not a reputable website. I'm belaboring the story because I'm really not wanting to say what happened, because I'm still in the I'm processing it, and so viscerally angry and disappointed and sad that I noticed myself pushing off actually saying what happened because I'm so uncomfortable with it. But here's what happened. They reached out, they tried to book a professional. They tried to book someone. I can't call them a professional. And this person was an hour and a half late. First of all, the fuck. And they were drunk. The person that they hired was an hour and a half late and drunk. So many emotions come up for me. So many things. There's anger, there's sympathy, there's fear and frustration. I'm scared about making this video because I worry that someone will hear it and be like, oh no, that could happen to me if I seek out this service. And I can't say, no, it's not gonna happen, because it did. It happened. But what I can say and reiterate, I've made many videos about this, is it kind of honestly doesn't even matter what profession, it doesn't even matter who you're hiring, the importance of just being discerning with whoever you are entrusting to your well-being too, I should say. If you're hiring a doctor, a therapist, a professional cuddler, a massage therapist, an esthetician, a nail tech, any of these people and any service that's going to impact you and your body, I want people to know and be empowered and encouraged that, like, be precious about that to a degree. You are important. Your care is important. And whether someone has a whole list of credentials and a bunch of acronyms and letters next to their name or not, if it doesn't feel right to you, if it doesn't feel, not even just if it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't feel like a hell yes, this really feels like it could work. I'm optimistic. Like, something about me talking to this person. Hopefully there's a consultation available to anyone seeking these things out. Or hopefully there's like at least a 10 minutes at the beginning of meeting someone where you get a little moment, or you can take a moment and pause to decide if you want to continue or proceed or book. I want to empower people to know that that option exists wherever you are, even if socially we don't talk about it. If you go to a nail tech and you sit down and you start telling them what kind of work you want on your nails, and in the first moment they like do something that feels even the slightest bit off, or like if they clip your nail and it hurts a little bit, you have the right to say, stop. This doesn't work. I'm not going to proceed. I don't give a fuck if it makes anybody uncomfortable. You have a right to protect your well-being first over anyone else's comfort or interest, even if they're doing a service. And it also doesn't have to be a confrontational really moment if you can find a place of peace and grounding. That takes practice for sure. I'm not saying that this is a skill readily available to everybody, but if you can, it can be actually a somewhat neutral exchange. It doesn't have to be like, fuck you for doing this thing, get the hell out of here. It could be like, this isn't a match. Yeah, I'm sorry if you're disappointed about that, but I'm not going to proceed. Nothing against you, but this doesn't fit. This isn't compatible. I need something different. You're allowed to say all those things. You are allowed to be super discerning. And I don't want all of this to sound like in any way that it is the person who is seeking assistance their fault. No, not remotely. And I want people to feel empowered that because we live in a world that is imperfect and unpredictable, if they ever do find themselves in a situation or a position that's uncomfortable, that doesn't fit, that doesn't match, that doesn't feel safe and welcoming or like they belong, I want them to feel empowered to ignore social politeness and protocol to just take care of themselves. And I'm gonna just acknowledge it and name it, but there's a part of me that has sympathy for that practitioner. Like, I don't know what they were going through. That, like, if I'm gonna come and view it from the most compassionate, caring part of myself, I'm like, man, maybe they are going through some shit and they made a really poor decision that day. And like, I have compassion for that. And then there's a different part of me, because we all have this part that's like, fuck you, man. Don't do that. Don't put yourself in a position to hurt other people like that. So, thank you for listening if you stayed this long. I'm curious your thoughts about it. How did this hit you? I know I'm still processing. I might make a follow-up video about it once I've actually done more than just immediately react. It's not what cuddle therapy is. And I'm really sorry that that person had that representation of it. If you are curious what this is, what it can be, how I practice it, that's what this channel is for. I invite you to see any of the other videos that might help you in finding the empowerment to get the support you need because you deserve it. Check them out if you like. Yeah. Be well, y'all.